Today we are in New York State and we went to a couple of different Salvation Army stores, and we're going to see if we're going to give them a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Look at all these cute little Lefton figurines. A couple of the ages were missing, but they had their stickers and I thought they were adorable. I didn't get them, but I did like them. If I had more storage room, I probably would have picked up a couple of them maybe, or comped them out at least. This cute little ducky had a little damage on his bill. I was trying to figure out who made him. That is the largest lemonade container I have ever seen. And this was a cute little cat cup, but it was modern. Skittles cup behind it. And then this puzzled me. It looks like the Puffy Rose pattern. It's an LG Wright mold and it was poured by Fenton, and it comes in a larger vase. I've had it a couple times. I've never seen it as like a jar form. I've never seen it this small, and I've never seen it clear. So it puzzled me. So I held on to it for a minute. I researched it. I couldn't find it. I didn't know what to think of it. So I held on to it for a minute. There's a little golf guy that was made in China. I thought he was picking his nose, but he was not. I found these adorable goose canisters, and the previous owner had marked them all, coffee, tea, etc. They had some wear and they're just too large to store in the van. The clear section, never overlook the clear section. You never know when you're going to find crystal. And of course, lots of makers like Steuben and Baccarat come in clear, so I always like to take a gander. Here is some Christmas. That was a candle holder. Some cute little elves. Boing. I have to boing it. I just have to boing it. If I see something on a spring, I have to boing it. Down over here, we had a little bit more Christmas and then a huge bin of plush. I do not dig in the plush. Here is some vintage barware, some Collins glasses. I liked them. Again, if I had room, I probably would have picked them up. I think they're only like $1 each, 99 cents maybe. Looking at the cups. Look at that roller skate. I didn't even notice that until right now. That was a little Homco figurine. Cute little bunnies. And then I got distracted by this milk glass, and then I realized it was Avon, and we're going to pretend that didn't even happen. Look at me trying to read the maker. Oh, Avon, put it down. Walk away. All right, what else do we have over here? Nope. Nothing good in the clear section, but we looked. That's all that matters. These cute little drummer boys were adorable. They were identical. They look like 80s if I had to guess. Definitely vintage. Down here we had a bunch of little tchotchkes. Nothing that I needed. A lot of vintage items. I gotta say, I was surprised by how much vintage items they did have at this particular Salvation Army. I was impressed by that. This mug was definitely vintage, but there was only one. Maybe if there was a pair, pun intended, I would have got it. Cute little doggy. Another Homco doggy. Baskets. No Longaberger, but I have to check. Nope, no Longaberger. And I thought this was a Starbucks mug, but it's not. So I put it back. Some Starbucks cups are worth money. I've had that one that looks just like that in Starbucks before. Here was a cow teapot. Looked a little bit too modern for me, so I passed on it. And I love these little nursery planters. Unfortunately, they don't go for much money, so I have to conserve space in the van, so I do pass on them when I see them. There was a couple there, but they're definitely vintage. They're definitely adorable. Unfortunately, I do pass on them too frequently. A couple of teacups there. And then I scroll down here. Oh, I just noticed that was all red. Maybe some Valentine stuff. Oh, that was an adorable ashtray with a lion in it. And then down here we had it was a cool bowl. It was a double-handled bowl, but it was flashed, and the flashing was wearing off, unfortunately, which is all too common with flashed glass. I liked these drinking cups. I liked the pattern on them. There was another one behind it. And then over here, I thought those teacups were Franciscan, but getting closer, they were not. And little angels made in Taiwan. They were adorable, good condition. See, if I had a booth, I probably would have picked up a lot of these little tchotchkes and priced them really cheap in the booth. And then this, I was like, that's Mackenzie Childs. That's Mackenzie Childs all day long. And then I flipped it over, and then it was handmade. I'm like, what is happening here? But the petals were made of paper. But if you look at that center, that was made of ceramic pottery. So I'm like, I recognize that. That's a doorknob, or knob, not a doorknob, but a knob. It's a pull. And I've had these before. They usually come in sets. Somebody took a Mackenzie Childs pull and made a flower around it with paper. I thought that was really clever. And yes, could I have taken the knob? I wasn't going to mess with it. I didn't want to separate it. And I didn't think one knob was very valuable, so I left it behind. Yes, I found Mackenzie Childs in the thrift store and I left it behind. All right, let's see how many comments I'm going to get about that. Just looking anymore, see if there's any more knobs, maybe get a set out of it, but there were no more. All right, now we're at a different Salvation Army, still in New York State. And this display was right in front of a window, which I love for all the glass. And these are Dansk. They're little votive candle holders. You could probably put a little tea light or a pillar on top of it. And I kept going. I'm like, oh, there was only 3 of them. I'm like, maybe if there were 4. They were $2.99 each. I was debating it in my head. They definitely look more modern for Dansk. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, I should probably comp those out. So looking, seeing if there's anything on the shelves I needed to grab. I liked that mug. It was definitely a pottery mug, but I think they had it priced kind of high. I think it was like $6 if I remember correctly. So I passed on that one, but I did like it. And then that green bowl back there, I'm going to check it out later. Don't worry about it. I come back. This bowl was definitely vintage, but it had quite a bit of staining and a crack in the center going up the side. And there was 2 women in front of me, so I was trying really hard not to crowd them. So I came over to the shelves. That was not a studio mug. That was a manufactured mug. I did like the style of it. The handle was very square. And then over here, we had these cute little cats. I had to check them out. And then over here, there was a Christmas stocking holder with Santa on it, but it looked more modern, so I put it back. And then this doll, still had to check it out. All right, let's go check out a different shelf. I found this pottery 2-handled small vase. It was made in England, and I like the pattern on it. It had flowers on it. I'm not doing a really good job showing you, but then later I found chips on it. So, okay, so you're probably yelling at me because of the skillet is Le Creuset, but I was reuniting the Dansk. I found a 4th one, so they're together. All right, this I thought was glass. I said I would come back to it, but it was plastic. I was surprised by that. It was plastic. All right, so I wanted to look up those Dansk votives. So here I am typing it in, looking it up on eBay, and there they were. Those are the asking prices. There was a set of 5 for $20. They were like $2.99 each. So for 4 of them, it'd be like $12 plus tax. And I'm glad I didn't pick them up, because if you could see, there's plenty of them for sale on eBay. And if you go to the sold comps, there weren't a whole lot of them sold, which is why it's really important to research these, because I think there was only like, yeah, there's a pair that sold, and that was about it. So I'm glad I did not pick them up. They're really cool, good name, Great style, but just not a lot of resale value, so. So after finding some great brand names, I would give this trip a thumbs up. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.